Hello and welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm RJ.
And Cameron.
Pop.
I know, oops, I just threw my lid away.
Those things are crazy, dude. I can't
Take an
tell
eye
you
out with
the
it.
amount of times I've opened up one of those like monsters and it goes and shoots off like a fucking rocket.
Like you just have like champagne or something, like you're celebrating for New Year's.
Dude, I always love like the fucking smoke that comes out of that thing.
I know.
Like you pop.
And you like breathe it in.
Yeah, it's
They're like,
it's like some sort of scientific concoction.
dude, it's like the ooze from fucking Ninja Turtles.
Dude, I got that VHS around here somewhere.
Out of all Ninja Turtle live action movies, which one's your favorite?
That one.
Which one's that? Is that the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Second one. I agree too. Second one's my favorite.
Second one was awesome.
Karen, what's your favorite out of Ninja Turtle movies?
I don't remember them. I haven't seen them in so long.
Oh, you're missing out. I'll have to let you borrow.
I know the new ones didn't impress me, but
New one as in the one that just came out?
not the one that just came out. The one that came out
The
a few
CG
years
one?
Back, yeah.
You didn't like the CG one?
I thought it was awesome,
I-
dude. I went and saw
That
it.
movie,
I didn't
we
go
saw it
s-
together.
We did. I didn't go see the new one though because the newest dude, honestly, Megan Fox just.
I kid you not, though, that new one was pretty fucking good. Now, it
My
won't be
brother
nearly
said
as good as the
newest
other
one-
ones,
My brother said the newest one was hella funny.
but it was really good. I enjoyed it, you know. And I'll say this, even Megan Fox did a pretty good job. I know I was talking about a movie that's somewhat old by now, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, I haven't even seen it, so.
Yeah, that's what I assume. If you haven't seen it, and you haven't seen it, then
I wanted
many
to
people
see it. I
haven't
just
seen
never
it.
got a chance, honestly. Oh yeah, dude, I meant to ask you, what did you think of Dracula?
Dude, I really liked the new Dracula. I thought it was
Me
great.
too, dude. I thought it was so funny you went there, and the thing is, I even thought on my way there, it's like, I wonder if Spencer's gonna be here today.
That's the same thing I thought, too. I was like, dude, RJ should be here. You know, if RJ was here, it feels weird seeing a Dracula
we talked
movie.
about going to see it too, and then
Yeah.
and then I pull up, I'm like, that's Spencer's car. And then I said to my girlfriend, I was like, that's Spencer's car. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I wonder if he's in Dracula. And I walk up there, and I look up, and I look right at the top where I usually see it, and there's
Waving
sure enough,
there.
there you and Laura. And I'm like, oh, shit.
You know what's the kind of cool thing is that Dracula Untold movie is supposed to be a start to making more Universal monster movies. You know, and I think what they're going to try to do maybe is that they're going to, I mean, it's going off an Avengers thing, but they're going to combine it all together and, you know, and make it the universe. You could sort of say they started with Van Helsing and tried to do that. And I really love Van Helsing, and that's a movie that people
Talking about
really like.
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing. But, you know, kind of like take the Universal monsters, you know, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, and so on, and then kind of combine them all together. And then do, I don't know what the fuck, like some super Castlevania-like movie. Pretty much. That's really what it is. If you combine all the Universal monster movies together, you get Castlevania.
Straight up, though, for real.
Think about that very first Castlevania game, you know what I mean? You play as Simon Belmont, and you go off, and each boss is a Universal Monster movie boss, except for Medusa, I guess you could say.
Right.
But still, that's like Clash of Titans, but fucking... No, Clash of Titans.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But, you know, you battle Dracula, you battle Frankenstein, you battle, you know, the Mummy, you battle, Giant Bat. There's that Bela Lugosi movie, I think it is, called The Bat.
Right.
Battle Galamoth.
Battle of Galamoth. Oh, yeah, and the Symphony, I was thinking the first one, but yeah. Galamoth.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, technically, Galamoth, strange enough, he comes from that Kid Dracula game. He originally appears in that. That one, it's kind of like the spin-off kiddie game of like Castlevania. Came up for regular Nintendo and Game Boy. It's not like you're missing a ton. Not like the game's bad, but I mean...
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I keep looking at that fucking 3DS, dude. I want one so bad.
Dude, you gotta get a 3DS.
I need to
You should
get
get the XL one, too, because...
I can't believe I have a 3DS and you don't. That's just weird to me that I have something that you don't have.
Well, it makes sense RJ has one, though, because I don't know. I feel like 3DS, it's like, you know, you had regular DS, you had Game Boy.
I know, I've always, kept up with the handhelds, at least.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's like, I didn't, really buy the new models of the DS or nothing.
No, I never
It's
did.
like
I'm always the person who, I'll buy the very first model, and I'll stick with that one to the very end, until the next system comes out.
Yeah.
You know, like my DS, I just had the regular one. It had the tiny buttons, the ginormous D-pad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and, the screen that wasn't really that bright. It was backlit, but, because I remember when that DS Lite came out, and I think Cisco had one first or something like that, and he pulled it out, and I was like, holy fuck, look at that. Look at what you can see in that thing. It's amazing. And the buttons were bigger, too, and stuff.
Yeah. I know. I'm looking at that 3DS XL, and I don't know, $200, dude. And you can usually get it with the game for maybe $250.
And that XL was real nice. The only kind of complaint I saw, because Cisco has one too. I don't know why this will be my name drop for all these things right now, but like, is that the regular DS games just they look a little bit expanded in it? Like you can see sort of the pixels once that happens. They're kind of like that, but like it makes the biggest difference because some of those games it's like don't get me wrong, but I think the screen's only 3.5 inches big for the DS, so like that extra 2 inches or something makes the biggest difference.
Yep, I'm sure.
And plus, come on, we got Majora's Mask coming out for the 3DS.
I saw that. I was like, oh.
Fuck, it's so amazing. So I just can't wait.
I honestly wish, like, I wish I could get, like, I don't know, fuck. I wish they could, like, do Wind Waker or something on the 3DS.
I finally just started playing my Wind Waker HD copy that I had.
They have that?
For the 3DS?
I think so.
No, they
I
don't.
think so.
They have it came out for the Wii U.
They have
Ocarina
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, they have
That's what I'm
Ocarina of
thinking
Time.
then. Never mind.
But I literally, ever since I bought Mario Kart 8, I've had this Wind Waker copy that I got for free, which really is like, if you want to sell a game, just fucking give out another free game with it. I mean, come on. Another good example is that Bayonetta 2 that came out for Wii U.
Yep.
They have the first one in there. It's like, such a smart thing to do.
Yep. PC game, I posted that thing again. Metro, for whatever reason, was like releasing Metro 2033 again for free. And I'm sure it was like some kind of promotion and try to push Last Light again.
Oh. Dude, 2033 for free? You can't beat that.
No. That's how I got my copy. Game. So crazy, too. Over Facebook, out of all fucking platforms, like, I found this posting that's just like this page and you get a free copy of Metro 2033, so I did it, and they, like, sent me a code, plugged it into Steam. There you go. It's like free game. All for just liking a page. That's badass.
Can't beat that.
Mm-mm. No. But, yeah. Are we going to talk Outlast at all? Finally fucking beat that goddamn game.
Oh, yeah.
So we took, like, a year or so. I think I bought that game about a year ago, and probably, what was that, 2 weekends ago, maybe? Like,
yeah. I
like
mean,
that.
I don't think it took us quite that long from the time we started to the time
Now,
we
is
finished it.
Outlast the one where you're in the prison thing?
Mhm.
Or the mental
Has it really
institution?
been that long?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I bought that game, like, right after it came out, so it must have been, like, September, October. Something like that. So, anyways, well, we finally beat that fucking game. And still, to the very end, like, the thing I really enjoyed about that entire experience was even there towards the very end, I'm still, like, jumping and, like, like, yelling out, like, oh, fuck. Like, there's so much scary shit in that game.
Well, one thing about video games and horror is, like, a lot of times, I mean, like, yeah, it will go down a little bit once you get a little bit, more used to the game.
system.
But it's still going to get you, you know what I mean? No matter what, even though it scares you something to see, and how many games you play over and over again. It's like Resident Evil. It never does not get not scary. I mean, there's parts that, yeah, I know what's coming out, so I'm not going to jump. But there's still, every once in a while, there's going to be that time that there's something right behind you that you didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Or something else. Yeah, fucking Resident heads.
Dude. Dude, those were the scariest, dude. Make me jump every time.
So when is Revelations 2 coming out?
That comes out, I think, in January-ish or February.
Okay.
The only thing that's kind of dumb about that game, though, is, like, I think it's stupid how they're releasing it, like, episodic. Because to me, like, the reason you release a game episodic is because you're an indie company, you can't afford to finish the game. So you release it in parts to get your money to make the second part and so on.
Yeah.
So when a company like Capcom does that, I'm like,
Why?
what the fuck? It's like, it's just one of those ones that's like, I'll pay $60 just to get it like day one on a physical copy, and the physical copy's not going to come out till God knows when.
Yep.
They said like, oh, it'll come out once we release all the copy. Once that it could not come out for another year, for all we know.
It's like the drive to buy a physical. Well, I mean, like for collectors, of course, but I mean, it's like it really kills the drive for people to buy a physical copy once you've already played all the episodes.
Yeah, because I'll most likely buy. I'll bitch about it until the very until it gets
like,
up, and then I'll probably end up buying the episodes because it's Resident Evil, and Resident Evil controls my life.
Like, I hope they don't release like the physical copy at like $60.
What I read is that the physical copy is going to be $40, and then it's going to be $25 to buy all 4 of them at once. So it makes me wonder if the game sounds like it's going to be a half game.
Right.
How much is each episode? Like, if you don't buy all of them?
I want to say like $7, something $8 probably. So some weird odd number. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll buy for $25, but as I said, it sounds like it's gonna be a half game. And they say each one's supposed to be about 3 hours long, which supposedly always means like 2 hours. Because game creators always want to tell you a game's really fucking long, and then you go to play, and you're like, no, it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Even if I spent a lot of time like dicking around, it still wasn't that long.
See, like, The Walking Dead, that Telltale game, it's the same thing. Like, they release their shit episodic, you know, so, like, you get a new chapter, like, every couple months or whatever.
Well, at least I'll say this: Telltale's not like the hugest company, you know.
No.
I've tried to apply there many times, and then they always send me personalized emails back and say, you got a great resume, but not for us. Which is always like, is that a compliment or an insult? I'm not too sure.
I think every episode of The Walking Dead is $5, so you get 5 episodes or whatever, so it comes out to $25, and then, like, each time they released season 1 and then season 2 just recently.
Then they just put it on a disc.
Well, yeah, you go and you buy it on the disc. I happened to catch both of these. Like, I caught the original Walking Dead on a summer sale for Steam, and I think I got it for like $5. And then this season 2 like just came out, and during Halloween, it was on sale for like half off. So you get that. You get all 5 episodes for like half off, $12.49 or whatever. Perfect. But I would highly recommend both those games. They're so good, and they tie into each other too. So like, you play the first season, transfer your save over to the second season, you continue playing your story and everything. So season 2 is fucking crazy.
But as I said, I think it's like for Telltale that works fine. I just think for a company like Capcom that's so big, it's just. I mean, I know they're trying to do something different. They're trying to get a different market. So I mean, you always got to give people a hand for doing that. You know, even though. The only thing about Revelations 2 is it almost looks like it's trying a little hard to be maybe like kind of like Last of Us. That's kind of like what it looks like. Not like a bad thing, but you know, it's like I just don't want it to go too far away from being Resident Evil. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, because Last of Us is fine as Last of Us, but I like Resident Evil as Resident Evil.
Okay, I want them. Okay, all I've been hearing is that Capcom's planning on going back to the roots with Resident Evil, like back to how it was before. Like, do I think that's going to be fixed camera angles? No.
No.
Do I think do I hope that they go back to like more Resident Evil 4-ish? Yes. Because Resident Evil 4 was awesome.
Well, pretty much, you can really say this is not Resident Evil and not Capcom, but technically still Resident Evil. The Evil Within. I really think that title was probably supposed to be a Resident Evil title, and then something happened with Shinji Mikami and Capcom, and that's how it became what it is.
Right.
Dude, I just like, I want Resident Evil to go back to being scary. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight zombies, quote unquote, with guns.
I know, that's the one thing. Just gotta take out the guns.
It's just such an action game now, dude. It hurts me.
And don't get me wrong, I'm like the person I always call myself. I'm like the defender of Resident Evil 6 because I actually, you know, I'll take it as just a game value. I think that game's like a 9 out of 10 game. I liked it that much. My only real complaint is I just didn't like. They took away like the gun upgrading system, and they kind of put in like the little badge thing, which is like, I don't know, just kind of half-assed. It doesn't make me want to go back and play it as much as I did with like Resident Evil 5 and 4.
I hate that the enemies and the zombies disappear as soon as you kill them. They just like kind of disappear.
Oh yeah, I always just assumed it's like because they can't have that much crap on the screen at once.
Well, yeah, I understand, but like in like the Evil Within, dude, it's like you find matches and you have to burn all the bodies. You don't have to, but.
Do they come back as like Crimson Head-like things?
I haven't seen anything come back, but I've been pretty good about burning bodies. You find a lot of matches because, dude, sometimes you have to fight a lot of fucking enemies, dude, and it's hardcore, dude. That game frustrates me. I'm not too far, dude. I think I'm on chapter 7 now. And I don't know how many chapters there are. I haven't looked it up or anything, but.
You don't want to cheat yourself too much.
But, dude, it's awesome. It reminds me of like Resident Evil 4 a lot.
Yeah, that's what it just looks like to me. It just looks like Resident Evil 4.
That's how it looks like, how it plays.
Kind of reminds me of like Resident Evil 4 mixed with the remake. Kind of mixed with like The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cool because like, dude, you get like this crossbow. I forgot what the fucking name of it is. But and like you get parts and you're making arrows and shit for it, and you like unlock different arrows and shit. So it's cool.
Huh.
It's like I have these freeze arrows and it like freezes the. I don't know if I should call them zombies. I guess they're zombies.
It looks like zombies to me.
Dude, they're fucking crazy. You get these poison arrows, and dude, I've shot a couple of them with it, dude, and then they like go over, they start throwing up, and then they die.
It's badass.
And you fight like these fat ones, dude, and then there's like, dude, there's this fucking monster, dude. I actually just killed her, dude. I think there's more of them, but it's like you see her in the previews actually, in like any of the trailers you see. It's like she's the one with like the long hair and the long ass arms. She was fucking crazy, dude. Scared the shit out of me every fucking time she came out, dude. It was like it get your heart rate going, dude. Seriously, it got my heart rate going. It was awesome, dude. Yeah, dude. It got me to the point to where it was like, fuck. It's like I need to calm down. I need to play something else.
You need a game to like come off of.
But no, it was, dude. It's a lot of fun. It's just like, again, and I don't know if you could tell, but it just looks like it was made for the next gen systems. Just the way it the graphics are and stuff.
I really want to see it on PC, like really bad, but I couldn't get myself to spend that money on it.
Unless I feel like there's a lot of these games now that they're kind of like, I don't know, dog's whining. So sad. Just wish I could be on the podcast.
Shut up, dogs.
My podcast.
But this game, dude, Evolve, they had the alpha last weekend, and I played the living shit out of it. And these are all like screenshots that I was taking while I was playing. And Evolve is going to be a fucking badass game. This game is like, if you're playing as a hunter and you're fighting the monster or whatever, it's just so fucking scary, dude. Because once that thing hits level 3, like you can, when you're playing as a monster, you go around and you start off as level 1. You start killing like a bunch of animals and stuff that are in the world. And you eat them, and then like eventually you gain level to level 2, and then you evolve and you get bigger and your abilities become stronger.
Just like
you can go all
Pokemon.
the way like that right there is like a level 3 or a level 2, so he's like mid range. Level 3s are fucking huge, and you see that fucking thing come sprinting around the corner, like, and it lunges at you from like 300 yards away. It just dives at you and tackles you. It's so fucking scary. But I don't know, the whole concept of it is just so much fun. It's totally like Left 4 Dead. You like have to play with like 4 player, you know, and if like one person doesn't play their role,
then
like
you're screwed.
your team just goes to shit. So like this right here is the assault class. So you have this like, you have an assault rifle, and then you have like this like lightning type gun, so you're pretty much like the tank of the group. You're just like taking the most damage and dealing the most damage. And then there's this guy right here that is support, and you have like this kind of like weak, almost like chain gun type thing, but it doesn't really do all that much damage. You can call in airstrikes, and then you have this device that like shields like your teammates or whatever. So you mainly like you're mainly focused on that tank, you know, that tank player.
So it's like it's way more team based than even Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah. And then you have like your trapper class that is supposed to like trap the monster. You know, you can like set these harpoons on the ground that shoot out at it and slow it way down. You know, and then you can put down this like mobile battle arena type thing that locks it into like this confined space, so it can't get away.
Yeah, I heard about it on like, I think it was on the Nerdist. For some reason, I want to say Chris Hardwick had sponsoring of it or something like that. And it sounded all pretty darn cool. As I said, like I was a big fan of Left 4 Dead. Yeah. It's kind of a bummer that they haven't really. I think they announced something about Left 4 Dead 3, but they still haven't announced too much more about that.
Gus was talking about it. Evolve.
It's a great game, dude. And it looks so fucking cool. Like, I don't know. And that's just alpha. Like, the footage you're seeing is all just alpha stage. But
isn't that game pretty close to coming out, though?
Yeah, it's supposed to be out in February.
Yeah, so I was saying.
I'm pretty sure they ran the alpha to test their servers, and then they're gonna run a beta that's also gonna test their servers, and then they'll release it come like February or March, one of the two.
I want to play it.
The one thing I'd like to see, if this goes back to Resident Evil really quickly, and this is, I would like to see a game that plays like, hell, it could play like Resident Evil 6 for like, because I like the way that Resident Evil 6 plays, but it takes place back in Raccoon City. Hell, it can even take place, you know, during 2 and 3, but where like the whole time is you're just kind of going through Raccoon City, just different parts there, whether you're going through like police stations, buildings, libraries, sewers.
Even while it's all going on.
Yeah, it's just all going on, you know. But keep it like, you know, in I'm gonna say the Resident Evil 4 style, you know. But it could even play like Resident Evil 6, because Resident Evil 6 plays like Resident Evil 4, just with way more control over everything.
Operation Raccoon City was kind of supposed to be like that.
Yeah, but that like.
I mean, of course they like went and took a different approach, but.
You know, and it's like I know they've tried things like that, but it's like something like, or you know what would be this is actually something I thought really ever since about Resident Evil 4 came out, I would like to see a remake of 3, but have it with the Resident Evil 4, controls, and then obviously nowadays with like the visuals. Because just think about that. That'd be pretty sweet. You just play as Jill Valentine. You have to battle Nemesis and all kinds of stuff, and you're going through Raccoon City, blah, blah, blah. But we got great graphics, and it plays, like Resident Evil 4. Right. I guess you could say Resident Evil 6 now, but I know most people that's a sour note for everybody. But control-wise, I thought Resident Evil 6 was amazing.
I guess it did control pretty good.
It was so smooth. And I love the other kind of things too, like you could jump backwards and lay on the ground, and then so you could dodge a zombie and whatnot.
Right.
Oh, I got dogs playing now. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see. Something like Resident Evil 3, because I think Resident Evil 3 is one of the best Resident Evils out there. It's kind of one that nobody really talks about as much anymore.
That was the one I probably played the most outside of 4, but yeah. 3 was cool. I remember one of the main things I remember from being a kid and playing that game is being able to stand on the lower end of the stairs and have a zombie walking down towards you and just pointing the pistol up at them and shooting, and their leg just blows off.
Well, I remember the first time me and RJ played Resident Evil 3, because the stairs was always the safety thing in Resident Evil. It's like, oh, there's a zombie up there, well, I can't come down the stairs. So then all of a sudden, I think we were in Raccoon City, and we run up the little stairs, and we're like, haha, we can be safe up here. And the next thing you know, the zombie starts fucking going up the stairs. And we're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, Resident Evil 3, the live selection in Resident Evil 3 was awesome. When you encounter Nemesis or certain parts of the game and it gave you the choices.
Yeah, kick him off the bridge, electrocute him.
Yeah, or even it's when you're in the garage running back, dude, and the ground starts to shake, and then it gives you the choice to jump up or go down.
Yeah.
You can go down in the sewers, or you can go up. You come out a different way.
The one thing about that game is there was so much experimental stuff in it. That's why, because the game originally is not supposed to be Resident Evil 3. It was just supposed to be Resident Evil Nemesis, and then 3 is supposed to be Code Veronica. Mm. Which, if you think about that, that pretty much makes more sense, because Code Veronica is pretty similar to 2 as far as playstyle and whatnot. And 3, if you want to count that as kind of the one that's a little bit different. Or you could say a spin-off, you don't really consider it a spin-off since it's got the main character in it, practically. Right. But, they put things in there, like Nemesis. They put, you could make your own ammunition. There was a dodging feature. They started manipulating things where you could walk upstairs, and I think Code Veronica has that though. Do you have to press a button to go up the stairs in that one?
Code Veronica?
Yeah.
You had to press a button.
Yeah. Okay. So in 3 you could just walk up the stairs, and then also the live events and so on. There's a lot of new things they threw in there that didn't stay in Resident Evil, strangely enough, or a lot of that stuff, which I always thought was such sweet features.
Dude, the fixed cameras, dude. I want fixed cameras.
I'm surprised, kind of with all those indie games nowadays, everybody's kind of stuck on the 8 and 16-bit era. I'm waiting for when people go back and appreciate the 32-bit era once again. And people start just making Sega Saturn, PlayStation games, and then 64 bits like N64. And that's games people are they're making modern games, but with that style of graphics.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe that might not happen anytime soon. It might be hard for people to kind of... Because a lot of people have a hard time going back to, those systems anyways. But, you could implement some modern stuff into them, just like they do with, the 8-bit and 16-bit games. But, keep, the traditionalness of it.
Right.
I always think of a fixed camera game, like Resident Evil, but just imagine the graphics of, PS4 now. Think about it. How cool would that be? Where everything was pre-rendered, but pre-rendered of nowadays.
Dude, I can't wait to see what Lisa Trevor looks like in the remake.
I know, that's going to be so cool.
Dude, I can't wait to see what the original Metal Gear Solid looks like in the new Fox engine. That's going to be fucking awesome.
I can't wait for the remake.
I know, that comes out, I think, in January or February, too.
I think it's January for that one.
It's badass.
And I think Revelations is February.
Maybe that's how it goes, then. I know they're pretty darn close.
I think it was January 15th for the remake.
So that's not very far away, then.
You know what I'm really waiting for? Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah? Have they released anything more on that?
Fucking no. There's all these goddamn rumors going around, but nothing's happening. But it's been, 3 years now since Skyrim? Something's gonna fucking break any minute now. And, I'm hoping next E3 they're gonna, say something about it.
You know what game really flew under the radar, I feel like, was the third Borderlands just came out.
Oh, the pre-sequel?
The only reason I knew a lot about it is Josh Bullock was talking a bunch about it.
He's the only one I know that bought it.
And he was like, oh, it's so great, there's all kinds of stuff in it.
I know, he was telling me it's cool, but I don't know, dude. I just can't get into Borderlands. It's just...
Well, I had the problem.
I don't feel like it's a serious game either.
It's not.
Well, my problem too is because right when I went out and bought Borderlands 1, when it was like $10 brand new or something, and it was right, only a couple months after I played Fallout 3. So I put over 100 hours in the Fallout 3. I did every mission, blah 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 blah. And the downfall of that is I was so Fallouted from that point on. And it carries on. I still have a hard time, like the idea of going back to Fallout. Probably when Fallout 4 comes out, it'll be fine. But New Vegas came out too soon, almost. But then it affected me on every other game that was like, does it take place in a wasteland, post-apocalyptic, blah, blah, blah. Because I remember games like Rage, which was a great game, but it was just that one, it's Fallout with vehicles. And then I played Borderlands. Huh?
Rage was a lot of fun.
No, I think Rage was really good, but I was so burnt out from Fallout that it just kind of felt like I was playing the same game over again, but with vehicles. And then I played Borderlands, and I was just kind of like, well, it's like Fallout, but with, multiplayer.
Right.
And the only thing about Borderlands that I kind of lost with was I don't really like those kind of games where it's like, go do this mission. Okay, now come back to me. Okay, now go this direction. Then where you're doing all that walking and whatnot, and that's kind of what it felt like too. Now, once again, I only played a handful of hours of it, and that was kind of done. Not saying anything. You're not saying it was like totally like a bad game or anything. It was just it was wrong time to be playing it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just kind of I still feel kind of burnt out from Fallout 3. It just there was just so many hours put into it, and Fallout 3 was amazing. I'm not saying anything against it, but it totally burnt me out on that. It's going to take fucking Mad Max 4 to bring me back into that world. That's all I know.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't go back and play Fallout 3 anymore, probably because I'm pretty sure I've beaten at least 95% of that game. And I still find shit all the time when I'm playing it, like whether that just be items or just little teeny quests or whatever. But I don't know. But if Fallout 4 ever happens, I'll be very excited, and I'll probably lose track of time with that one too. Because between my Xbox 360, PS3, and PC versions, probably well over 800 hours in that game.
That's a lot. 100 hours was a lot for me.
Yeah.
And that kind of because I think about other than games that there's very few games out there I'll say I put over 100 hours into in one playthrough pretty much. There's some that it's like something like Super Smash Bros. Melee was one of those games that I had way over 100 hours, probably 200 hours into that. But that's continuously play. It's not like I sat there for in one game and that was it. Where Fallout that was, and I can't even think of very many games that I put that much into.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, honestly, the game I probably put the most time into is all the Call of Duty multiplayers. Because it's fuck, the last Call of Duty, not Ghost, but...
Black Ops 2?
Yeah, Black Ops 2, fuck. I get them mixed up on which one came out first, whether it was Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2, but it was Modern Warfare 3. I think.
No, I'll say wasn't Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghost?
Ghost, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, anyway.
I don't even know these games. I'm telling you what days they came out.
Black Ops 2, I think I have 8 days logged in. Of playtime.
So what would that be? 8 times 24?
2, carry my 3, 16.
So you're at about 200 hours there.
Yeah, dude, that's just one Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's I put a ton of time into Black Ops 2, I put a ton of time into Modern Warfare 3.
The one that, the game
Modern
probably in the
Warfare
last
1.
Recent while, or that's probably the same recent as Fallout 3, but the only other games I can think of is Gears of War. I put quite a bit, but probably only about 50 plus hours into
Yeah, it's
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Some people put my Call of Duty 8 days to shame, dude. Some people have hella time logged. I'm just fucking A. It's how much free time do you have?
For me, the only thing I guess when I look at when people have ridiculous amounts, is that the only game you bought?
I know,
because I always to me it's I just don't have that time a lot of times for all these games because I want to play something else too.
Right. Call of Duty is one of those games that someone who doesn't necessarily play the Evil Within and those kinds of games, that are more story driven, they play Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily a gamer's game only.
Well, I will say, if anybody's putting in more of that time, though, it's they're definitely getting their money's worth out of that Call of Duty.
Yep.
I have, dude. I mean, I can't complain. I still go out and buy them. I love Call of Duty. I like the new one a lot. I can't wait to keep playing it.
That's me and Halo, dude. Between Halo 2 Halo 2, Halo 3, Reach, and then the little amount that I played in 4 is fucking outlandish, especially my Halo 2 and 3 days.
I want to play more of Reach.
Dude, today is Halo Fest.
Yeah.
I saw that on Xbox.
Really?
Yeah, they have something called Halo Fest. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's everybody's playing a bunch of Halo a day before, 2 days before, like the Halo Master Chief Collection comes out.
Isn't that? No, that's the 8th. Is it the 18th or did it come out last Tuesday?
I want to say it comes out this Tuesday.
Okay.
Because I just keep seeing it all on Twitter, so I'm assuming that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I really like the new Call of Duty though. It's a lot of fun.
I thought it was kind of cool. It reminds me of like Metroid Prime Hunters. That was the first thing I thought when I'm playing this. I'm like, oh, I see. Double jumping, dashing, and
They
fucking.
just added a lot of new features to it.
And I think it's like that's kind of what it needs because if you think about
is,
the last 6 of them are all similar of just like light improvements.
The best thing I think about it, dude, is that it's like they added all the new features, but it still feels like Call of Duty.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're playing anything too different, but it has enough in it that makes you feel like you're.
Like it's fresh.
Yeah, it's fresh yet.
The same.
Yeah.
I don't know how 6 was.
I was trying to think of a better word than the same, but
It feels the same.
it's like it's not like you felt like when some games go a little too far and then you just feel like, well, that's not what I bought. I wanted something. You could almost go back with Resident Evil 6 and use that. It's like I want fucking Resident Evil, something like Resident Evil 2 and 3, but now I got, something way different.
Right.
See, and that's where I'm at with Resident Evil. It's like, it's just so different now, dude. It's like, God.
And then, for me, I will say it's like even though I still love 4, 5, and 6, but 4 is the one that kind of put it in that different area. Don't get me wrong, it's just such a good game, but that does break it pretty far from Code Veronica and 3.
It did. 4 was the start, but I mean, if they would have kept it more like 4,
yeah, and just
it would have
don't
been better. But they just kept actionizing it, so to speak.
Well, it's the sad thing we kind of live is this seems like something that didn't used to happen that often, at least back in the 90s. But nowadays it just seems like, well, that Gears of War is pretty popular. Let's make it kind of a little bit more like that,
They need to quit trying to appeal to the masses, and they just need to make it Resident Evil.
I know. And the sad thing is,
Revelations is really good. That felt like Resident Evil, but...
And I think because it's on the handheld, it's like, they can kind of take more of a risk with something like that.
Just those 2 characters, dude. Those 2 characters in Revelation really fuck. It was painful to
Oh yeah, you get
I hated it
two
when the story switched to them, dude. The comic relief characters.
Yeah, to play the bad comic relief characters. Hopefully they won't be in Revelations 2. But it's one of those ones I will say this though, it's like how Resident Evil got to Resident Evil 6 though, is because people had the people that weren't really Resident Evil fans, they bitched so much. In Resident Evil 2, 3, and Code Veronica, about the camera angles, and, the pop-outs, and, the way it played, the tank controls. People complained so goddamn much, and that's why Resident Evil really ended up being like Resident Evil 6, is because people bitched for so many years. There's so many things where people would give Resident Evil, a 1 out of 5 rating,
Again,
I saw fucking... X-Play. They gave Code Veronica a 1 out of 5. I remember that one. I was like,
really?
Fuck.
Again, dude, it's with the fixed camera angles, dude. It's there's nothing scarier than you have one camera angle. You know if there's a zombie, and you don't know if when that camera angle switches, if the zombie's going to be in your face or if it's going to be down the hallway.
I know. It's I love the camera angle thing.
What happened to Dino Crisis?
That's another series that I think
we talk about it all the time, actually.
If Shinji Mikami would come back, he's got to make a fucking Dino Crisis 4.
Right.
In Dino Crisis 3, I remember because I went out and bought that game, a little bit after, I got it for $7 or something. Once it was used and whatnot. And I was like, if the game is I'm like, I don't know, I'll take dinosaurs in space. I don't care. There's not enough fucking dinosaur video games out there. But the downfall is it didn't play like Resident Evil anymore. It started playing I don't know, some fucking weird action game. It just didn't move smooth and it was hard, it still had the camera angles, but...
See, I only ever played the first one, but I played the living shit out of the first one.
The second one was really good.
The first one's good. The second one's amazing. The second one, I will hold that up. Actually, is cool.
The only thing I will tell you, dude, is the first one was more of a survival horror. The second one was more of a action horror.
Yeah, the second one I say it's definitely an action horror
because there's just a lot more shooting involved in the second one. The first one, it's a lot more conservation of your ammo.
Yeah, it's they both are great in different ways. The survival horror aspect of the first one I love, But the second one, like almost like it has such good replayability, and yes, it is. You kill 900 fucking velociraptors in your run through, but it has one of the sweetest systems that I'd love to see in more Resident Evils. It's almost like a prototype to Resident Evil 4, you can say, because you can buy ammo, you can even buy health, which I guess you can buy that in Resident Evil 4. You can upgrade your guns and all kinds of stuff. So it is kind of a prototype towards Resident Evil 4. And someday you gotta sit down and play Dino Crisis 2, because that game holds up.
What did that come out on?
It only came out on PlayStation.
Original PlayStation? Oh, cool.
Nothing else. Cool. So you can download an emulator or a ROM of it.
I'm sure I could just find it, like in physical disc.
It's kind of expensive in physical disc. It's like $30 used, if not more.
You're talking about 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first one, that one's easy to find and it's cheap.
The first one came out on
PlayStation, and it's also on Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, yeah, I think I played it on Dreamcast.
Yeah, I have it for Dreamcast, and I originally played it on PlayStation, but that game is such a good game, and the downfall too is there's almost no dinosaur games,
Dude, I really wanted to make like a really good, scary Jurassic Park game.
And you know what? I always thought the Dino Crisis engine would be so perfect just to throw Jurassic Park over the Dino Crisis engine. Think about it. How cool would that be?
I really want to. Dude, I really want to play Alien Isolation because that game sounds
that fucking game, dude. That game is scary as shit. I never even ran into the alien. Like, I played for about an hour and a half and, like, never ran into the alien, but fuck, dude, that game, like, just the atmosphere of it captures the movies, like, so perfect, even down to the point where you're walking past computers and you just, like, see all these blinking lights and you hear beep, 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 like, I don't know, it's crazy.
I don't want this.
Hmm?
I don't want this.
I'll take it, just one sec.
Looks sweet. I've just kind of read about it and just kind of went, I'd like to play it. And the only thing about that game, though, is it seems like it's one of those ones, like, for one, it's like a lot of people said it was like 25 hours long. Like, 25 hours long? Jesus Christ, what the hell are you doing in that shit for 25 hours? Like, that's unless a game's like an RPG, that's...
Alien?
The new one just came out?
Yeah, well,
I heard
it's a lot of slow moving.
Yeah, and I hear there's a lot of backtracking and whatnot, too.
A lot of sneaking around and, like, you don't want the alien to hear you kind of stuff or the enemies.
So, like, the only thing is it sounds like it's one of those kind of games where it's like a one play. Like, it sounds like there's so much work that you might not play it a second time.
Because, like, they say
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're downloading on the PlayStation.
When
you said buying it, I was like, oh, he's going to go out and buy a physical copy of it. I forgot. Yeah, you can get it on the PlayStation Network because Cisco has it. Damn it.
can you? Get it on my PlayStation.
It's like $8 or $6, yeah. I kid you not, though, that Dino Crisis 2, it is just as good as any Resident Evil, and I will hold that up, actually. And Resident Evil 1 being like my favorite, one of my top 5 favorite games of all time, Dino Crisis 2 is damn well up there. It's something that's like, I would love to see another Dino Crisis game. You know what's another Series 2 by Shinji Mikami I'd like to see another one of? It's Onimusha. Because that's fucking Resident Evil with samurais.
That was such a good game, but I don't know why they stopped.
Well, it's like they made that weird 4th one where they had that blonde-haired guy, and it's just kind of like, I looked at them like, blonde-haired guy in Onimusha? I'm like, fuck that, I'm not going to buy that. The game's probably decent, but like, that's literally one of those ones that's like, I don't want to play as that guy.
Raidenized it.
I know, it's like, yeah, I like Raiden, don't get me wrong, but like, I'll probably say this, if Raiden was on the cover of Metal Gear Solid 2, you'd probably be like, what the fuck? And then you'd play it and go, oh no, he's pretty cool, but...
Yeah.
Just picture Raiden instead holding that, SOCOM up instead of fucking, like, Snake on the cover. And, like, the game just told you straight from the beginning, like, you're not playing a Snake.
No, it was perfect, though. I don't know. I really hated it at first. I hated it for the first few years that I played it, but just the mechanics of that game was like, so cool at the time that I, like, just continued to play it.
I hated it at first,
eventually,
dude, but, like, it didn't, like, it didn't take me long to, like it, necessarily. But it's just when I first realized I wasn't playing Snake, I was like, what the fuck is this? What the hell is this shit?
I don't know. Dude, it was torture, like, because you run into Snake so many times throughout that entire
it kind of
story.
tease you in the
and you're just like, I want to play as him so bad. Fuck.
Dude, I just, like, especially, like, the first time you hold someone up and just Raiden's like, freeze. And you're just like,
that's a Snake. No, I don't know. It kind of gets you, but like, I don't know. I've gotten so accustomed to it. I think the thing that was more a little bit like a downfall was when they released Substance, and then they had the Snake Tales. Because I remember getting so excited for that. I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna be able to play a Snake. And then they're kind of like half-assed, like sort of little missions with like no real like Yeah, it was almost just felt like one guy sat there and made them all for somebody, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Snake skateboarding, dude.
But that was cool. That was better than
That was
Snake Tales.
awesome.
No, I keep going back and playing Ground Zeroes, like over and over and over.
Have
all
you?
those different missions. I
Yeah.
cannot wait for 5D. That game's gonna be so fucking cool.
I probably actually haven't played Ground Zeroes in a while. So it was one of those ones where I played like a bunch of it like the first week I had it, then I played it maybe like one time afterwards, and then that was about it.
Mm-hmm. It's an awesome experience on PS4.
I bet you.
finally got to play it. And
I mean, I just felt like on my 360 copy, it felt like it was almost like a selling thing. Like, this is what you could have if you got a PS4 or Xbox One. Instead, you cheap fuck that only has a 360 still.
So I'm excited that it's going to be released on Steam too. Ground Zeroes is coming to Steam, I think, like some point in
Or
December.
Phantom Pain.
Huh?
Ground Zeroes or Phantom Pain?
Ground Zeroes first in December, and then whenever Phantom Pain's being released, it's going to release on Steam too, which I think that'll be sometime next year. But
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, why is Ubisoft pulling their games from Steam?
probably because they want people to use Uplay more than the Steam. It's the same thing that EA is doing with their Origin service. Like, I have Origin on my computer, and the only game that I have is Battlefield 4. And I fucking hate it, dude. Like, it's so annoying. But, I don't know. I'll stand by Steam all day. Like, you can pretty much get, like, any game you want on it, you know, and
Well,
it's
yeah,
all
just-
in one
I didn't
location.
understand really why.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you think they just, it sounds like those ones like just work together and put it all in one thing to make it
Yeah.
easier. Once you start splitting them, then it just makes everything worse.
Mhm.
You know?
They just want to maintain their own servers, make sure that people aren't pirating their games, so they make them run through their service.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can understand still where it all comes from and whatnot, but, you know, just for that extra amount of work and what have you.
It's annoying. Like, I can't get my, well, now that I'm online here, but at home where I don't have internet connection, I couldn't get my Blacklist to work. Because I bought Splinter Cell
Splinter Cell?
Blacklist, and I bought it through Steam, but it opens up in Uplay as well. You know, so you got like two programs running the same game, and then it's really taxing on the computer too. The other game that I have that does that is Far Cry 3, but you know, I don't know.
That's strange.
I'm really excited to try Blacklist though. We were talking about.
I think we were talking about like
Splinter
the
Cell
newer
not too
Splinter
long
Cells.
ago.
Like, I never played a Splinter Cell after Chaos Theory, and I just kind of assumed like Chaos Theory was amazing, so they probably just got to get better from that point on. Maybe not, you know, that Chaos Theory will probably always hold that bar for a while,
Right.
and I think it's like a double whammy because one, those first two Splinter Cells I could care totally less about them, and that was at a time period too where you'd have that argument at school where people would come up and try to tell you that fucking Metal Gear Solid was stupid. Because people are like, well, like, you know, Solid Snake's like so unrealistic, and then you got to the point where you're like, well, fuck Sam Fisher, that fucking pussy couldn't even take on Solid Snake. So that did keep me away from Splinter Cell for a long time too. And then Chaos Theory came out, and I remember I think I just kind of read something on it where it's like, it seemed like they took away a lot of problems. Like, yes, you can kill, you're not punished like how in the first two, like if you made a mistake in them, you had to like totally restart the whole level and stuff. So like, I was like, oh, okay, so it sounds a little bit opening. Okay, I'll lend myself to the game. And then I remember playing, I was like, oh, this game's fucking awesome. You know, every mission was great. You know, there was only one mission where you couldn't kill, but they gave you, like, you know, you had all the options that were like, I don't care. I can, like, knock the guy out. Or it made it easy enough that it wasn't a pain in the ass. Then the other cool thing is they had a sweet multiplayer that they had in it, which I think was introduced in the second one. And then to top it off, there was a co-op mode that was totally badass, too. So it gave you all sorts of options. But so, as much as I love Chaos Theory, though, that's where I stopped at, too. I just never continued on buying them. And, you know, you can go pick up, like, half those games for under $10
Double
now.
Agent didn't measure up, dude, to Chaos Theory necessarily.
But isn't there, like,
No,
was there,
that
like,
game
3 of
was
them?
Fucking good.
It was a fun game, but Chaos Theory was just awesome.
Well, most of the Ubisoft Tom Clancy games, like I really haven't played one that I can say that I like genuinely like don't like. Like pretty much every Tom Clancy game I've ever picked up has been like cool in one way or another.
Yeah, they always have some kind of cool aspect. In general, pretty darn good. You know, I like Ghost Recon. I had a good time with Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
Vegas
2, dude, absolutely like the most perfect military tactical shooter. I'm actually excited. Have you seen anything on the new Rainbow Six called Siege or whatever.
Yeah, I have seen some stuff, or I read some stuff on
That
it.
game looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to like rush into a house and just like that wall right behind you, just taking a shotgun, just bam, 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 and just like cutting a hole in the wall and being able to see on the other side. That's gonna be so cool.
No, it sounds like it's got some sweet stuff. I remember playing the first Rainbow Six when it came out for PC, and that one threw you off at the time because the only games they ever played that were shooters was like fucking Duke Nukem and like Doom and Wolfenstein. So all of a sudden you're playing this game, you're like, what the fuck? I went in there and you make one wrong turn and your whole fucking team like gets shot by one guy up there up the stairs, and it's like, but it was cool because it was totally different,
Yep.
It was hard. It wasn't the same thing. You couldn't just go barreling in there and whatnot.
See, that was a really surreal experience for me when I played Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Me and my friend that lives over in the UK, his name's Matt, both picked up the copy, and he's 8 hours ahead of us, so like we had to work out this time frame schedule of both of us playing co-op through that main story on like the realism mode or whatever, and I think we played for like 3 days and like kind of like matched our sleep schedules and everything. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That Rainbow Six Vegas 2, dude, like that whole storyline, everything about that game, the multiplayer, the terrorist hunt on it is just so much fucking fun.
New one sounds badass.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to pick that one up at some point because I played the first Vegas like a little bit once.
I want to blast through a
Yeah,
wall.
I'll let you borrow Vegas 2. I have it on 360.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
I want to blast through a wall.
Yeah, any destruction. That's like one of my favorite parts about
It's
Battlefield.
like knock knock.
There we go. Do you know what? Let's start a fire really quickly inside the house. Of course, the dog is gonna burn down everything. Fucking. Oh, there we go. That's not so bad.
Oh, fuck.
There you go. Nice hot coal on the fucking floor.
That smells great.
Now he's all ashamed. He's like, "Oh, I almost burned down the house."
He's not ashamed. Motherfucker.
Saw it happening too. Tried to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, how about that Tom Clancy?
I don't know. I'm trying to get my blacklist to work right now so we can check it out.
Splinter Cell, Blacklist. How many Splinter Cells were released in like the modern systems or the last generation systems? Was there 3 of them?
3 or 4 or something like that, yeah.
It's like they had a copious amount come out, and it was just kind of like, as I said, I think every game got high ratings, so all sorts of good stuff. But I just, for some reason, I don't know. It's kind of weird sometimes, but there's some games too. They feel like they only last one generation or so. Not saying that the next ones aren't good, but there's that period where it's kind of like, well, Splinter Cell seemed kind of like that Xbox generation, you know,
Right.
that also on PS2 and GameCube as well too. But
That used to push that hardware really hard too. Like that, what was that one you were just talking about? Chaos Theory. When that came out on the original Xbox, I was blown away by like how pretty that game was. You know,
well,
like,
the game I think was
just
2
so-
discs on GameCube, and then also on GameCube too. Like the thing fucking took up like pretty much you had to dedicate one memory card just for that game.
Right.
It was ridiculous. And that's what I originally played it on was GameCube, and then I got it for like the Xbox later on.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that game that was almost like a sellout. And I think those Splinter Cell games too, when they came out, they used to come out like on Xbox like a couple months prior to like GameCube and PS2. It was sort of like a partial Xbox exclusive. Because when I think Splinter Cell, it feels totally Xbox. Like that seems like
Yeah.
like one of those ones, I guess, because even though it's made by a French team, but it's like it's American as fuck, pretty much. It's like one of those kind of games. It really almost all those Tom Clancy ones do, because I guess to me they always feel like PC games. So what's the next step from PC? Xbox.
Yep. Yeah.
It did feel kind of
crazy.
weird playing it on a GameCube. I will say that. Just did not feel like you're playing a GameCube game. Whenever you play like American games on like a Nintendo system,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah. Played plenty. Have you heard about recent sales between the two consoles?
Between PS, I just know that
the
Xbox One
PS4.
did god awful. Like they showed like because they started selling in Japan, and I was like, really? It's like thing's been out for this long, and it just started putting the Xbox One in Japan, and like the sales were like something like 24 million units of PS4 and like 2.5 or 3 million units of Xbox One. But it's like Xbox has never done good in Japan. I think it's also in Japan also like I think it's kind of frowned upon probably by the American system unless you're gonna own all three.
Right. I wonder what the new quarterly reports are.
So it's like hopefully the Wii U will start to do really good too once Smash Bros. Comes out. That'll be another.
I'm sure that will.
They got a sweet set if you don't have a Wii U coming out where you get a Wii U, Smash Brothers, and the fucking GameCube 4-person adapter. And I almost want to say you get a GameCube controller with it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I want to get a Wii U too. I really do.
I know that's kind of how I felt. I was like, before I get a PS4 or an Xbox One, I had to get a Wii U. It was just one of those ones like. I've always been kind of like Nintendo first. Nintendo and Sega first, but Sega hasn't had anything since Dreamcast, so I can't really go on my way and buy any Sega systems. But like, it's always like, once I have the Nintendo system, then I can buy whatever else there is. But I gotta get the Nintendo first. Gotta stick to your roots, stick to your guns.
So August, I think Xbox One sales were at 5 million and PS4 sales was at 10. And I think recently, they're going to release another quarterly report by the end of the year, and it'll probably be around like 13 and 7, something like that is what they're projecting. So
well, the Xbox One, I will say, it's like other than like the Halo 5 and like the Master Chief Collection, they have nothing that really like. Yeah. It's like, where the fuck's Gears of War 4? You know what I mean? Like that's you need those big games. It's like what the hell are they doing? Like dicking around, and then PlayStation's got all kinds of stuff at least in the works.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, this is the games that come out for both systems.
Yeah.
Really, I will say the biggest thing that's kind of turned me off from Xbox One, and I will say I was looking more towards Xbox One than PS4 when they first came out, but it's like every single ad they still have to this day, a year later, it's like they almost never advertise the video games.
Right.
And it's like, by that notion, I'm just kind of like, that's why I've always liked Nintendo. Nintendo always goes, we're video games first. We're not a fucking entertainment system.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's called the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the day, but that's what we are. First and foremost, we are video games. We're not a fucking DVD player, and we're not like, a web browser and all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's how it's really awesome to watch Sony this whole last 2 years, really. And their performance, like engaging their audiences, and that's all they're doing is, like pushing games as hard as they can.
Well, yeah, because it's like, when I buy a system, it's like I don't care about all that bells and whistles stuff. I know they just put it on there because it's pretty much a computer, so they can. Mm-hmm. But it's like really, I do like it's like the only extra feature I want other than playing games is I do like being able to play DVDs and Blu-rays. Like I still like that. That's a feature I do like. But other than that, though, I could give a flying fuck about the music, sports. Sports? We're playing video games here. Why the hell is there sports on there? You know what I mean?
Sports on my game machine.
Don't get me wrong, dude. I like all the features and shit I get with my video game system, but
I just think about it's like, do you use like any of those? Do you ever play music on your system? Like
not anymore, no.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a novelty thing with like PlayStation 1 because it was kind of like, dude, it doubles as like a sound system, and I think that was just at a time when we didn't have anything else.
But it's like for me, it's nice to have the Blu-ray, the Netflix.
Well, yeah, I do like the Blu-ray,
the DVD player,
and then the Netflix. I will say that kind of goes hand in hand with the Blu-ray player in a sense.
You know what I miss? You remember? Did you ever take a PS1 game and put it into a CD player?
Yeah, because some of them played music.
Yeah, some of them played like the soundtrack.
The best thing was Sega CD games. Dude. Every Sega CD game would play music on it.
Really?
Where PlayStation was only some of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every Sega CD game you could listen to the soundtrack if you put it in.
That's awesome.
It was so badass, and then like sound effects and whatnot too. And then Dreamcast, it's like very few of them I think did for some reason. I can't remember if Sega Saturn games did or not.
I miss all my soundtracks, man. I used to have so many.
I still got
I'd
quite a
really
bit.
like to see Nintendo put out a system that like has somewhat the capabilities of the One and PS4.
I know it's something that I'd love to see. It's like I kind of just like. Whatever they give me, I accept it because, when you really buy a Nintendo system, what you're buying it for is Nintendo games. And they sort of have enough of their own games to kind of, like...
Support
themselves. I mean, I wish they... it'd be nice if they were able to release more of their games, like... Perfect example is like, what the fuck is that Star Fox game? Mm-hmm. That was the game... I'm literally more excited for the Star Fox game than anything else. And I kid you not. And the only reason I say this, I'm actually more excited for it than Metal Gear Solid 5. Really? And the only reason I say that is because... Don't get me wrong, Metal Gear Solid 5 is probably going to be a better game... But here's the thing. We've been spoiled with Metal Gear Solid throughout the years. Star Fox is something we're never fucking spoiled with. There is not enough Star Fox. And that's the only reason I say I'm more excited for that.
Yeah. Is that coming out or already out on the 3DS? Because I saw that on the GameStop web store, but I didn't check.
Oh, well, they did a remake of Star Fox 64 on the 3DS.
Okay.
And that was really cool. That holds me over. But here's the thing about Star Fox. There's Star Fox 1, then there's Star Fox 2, which is sort of not really our actual release, but you can get it now on like ROMs and whatnot. Then there's Star Fox 64, and then there was that Star Fox Adventure game that was kind of different. I never really played it. I played a little bit of it. I remember it being just okay.
Right.
Who knows? It could be actually a pretty good game if you sat down and really got into it. And then there was Star Fox Assault, which was actually a pretty sweet game. And then they made one Star Fox for the DS, and once again it was like okay. They have kind of weird like tactical play mechanics in it, and like it kind of not. It didn't make it nearly as fun. And that was the last Star Fox game they released, other than that Star Fox 3DS remake. So that's what I mean. Is like we're other games we've been blessed. Resident Evil. I'll say this. We've had a lot of Resident Evil, so at least we could be grateful for that. Metal Gear Solid, we've had a lot. We at least had a couple on the last systems. You know what I mean? But Star Fox, it's like there was no Wii Star Fox.
Yeah.
And other than that, there was that DS one. But other than that, though, it's been a long time. It's been 8 years almost.
I'm so ready for a new Metal Gear, though, dude. I'm telling you.
I can't wait for Metal Gear.
It's gonna be 7 years next year.
Well, I always kind of think because there was Peace Walker and then there was Ground Zeroes.
Those they didn't really grab me. I'm just like looking for like a whole new story.
You gotta get into Peace Walker. I kid you not. That was one of those ones like when I first played it, I had a hard time getting into it because the controls were weird. It was like simple Metal Gear.
Right.
But once I got kind of like past that and got used to them, I was like, oh my god, it's just like it's got a different play mechanic in it, but it's just totally badass. And just the idea of like capturing people and then making them work for you.
Right.
Like that system was really cool. It reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics.
You keep mugging me, dude. What's your problem?
I'm really upset with Rockstar.
Oh.
The more I think about
you want to get into that, dude? You want to talk about Rockstar?
I'm just really upset.
They're motherfuckers, dude.
Because they're like screwing you over because they want you to get PS4 version now.
Yeah. Dude, it's messed up, dude. It's so fucked up, dude. Because, it's like there was all speculation in the beginning whether or not they would even release it on the next gen, It's like, yeah, of course they did. But it's like, you didn't know for sure. So it's like everyone bought it for, it's like I went to the midnight release. I bought it first day. Fuck. First minutes.
I don't know.
Only to get fucked over.
I still have barely even played
to add
Grand
a
Theft Auto 5.
first-person mode on the new one, which granted, I know they probably couldn't have done for the PS3 or the 360, but regardless, dude, it's like, god damn it, man.
Dude, it looks so fucking
Where's the heist?
cool, though.
Where is the heist?
They're never coming, dude. They're never coming.
Never, ever, ever coming, dude. That was one of my main buying points, dude, was the heist.
Yeah.
And I suffered through the online to get 1 million Grand Theft Auto bucks that you can get on the new one if you pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
If you pre-order the new Grand Theft Auto, you get that $1 million. It's like, what the fuck? I pre-ordered it and I didn't get no $1 million on Grand Theft Auto dollars.
Yeah, you had to work for that fucking $1 million. You didn't just fucking
Dude,
get
I
it
wasted
handed.
so much time, so much frustration.
Yeah.
Recreating my characters over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I can't begin to tell you.
But they're going to allow you to take your character from your PS3 version and transport them over to your PS4 version and continue playing.
Yeah, great.
We gotta spend our $60.
No, I know. I feel you, dude. I'm just saying, like that's like their PR.
When was the last time I heard about the heist? Like early spring, they said.
Yeah. They're like, we'll have this
but
out by
I haven't heard
spring.
anything.
And then they went quiet. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, guess what? PS4, Xbox One, PC, first person. Oh my god, dude, it's fucked up.
It's like I want to hear about the heist. Well, what's the status?
Yeah. And then what's even more fucked up about that whole thing is that that they're probably still not going to be working on it because there's all these rumors about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Which is great. And dude, oh my god, I can't wait for it. I love the first one. You play through the first one?
Fucking A, like multiple times. Yeah, it's a damn good game.
It was a good one. I liked it.
I think I played through it twice.
It didn't blow me away as much as Gun, but I still liked it a lot. Because I think Gun kind of set the bar.
Yeah.
And then, Red Dead, because really you could just work off that.
Not gonna lie, I like Redemption more than I like Gun. But I mean, I was like a Red Dead fan before Gun came out.
Oh, yeah, because the first one.
So
I guess what I'm saying is, like, I will say probably that Red Dead Redemption is, like, the stronger game of the two, but Gun just, like, is, like, it kind of pretty much was like the groundwork for it.
Right.
So like when people are all mind blown by Red Dead Redemption, it's just kind of like there was a game that really like put 75% of the work in. And Red Dead Redemption just kind of like took it and to the next level. Which, don't get me wrong, is like that's what you do, but.
But see, being like an original Red Dead Revolver fan, I think that Red Dead Revolver set the bar for gun to be made.
But I guess because Red Dead Revolver's not an open world game, I guess.
Yeah, exactly too. But like, I mean, like just gameplay wise. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of people don't even realize there's an original Red Dead. Dude, it's like they think Redemption is like the first one. It's like no.
That's because a lot of people are stupid.
But I don't know, dude. Red Dead Redemption 2 will be
poor education.
But I mean, like. I don't know. They did the thing with Red Dead Redemption is they did like the open world and everything just like perfect.
Mm-hmm. My only complaint to Red Dead Redemption, and this is just a Grand Theft Auto complaint in general, and this is where I kept saying like Assassin's Creed does the right way that Grand Theft Auto couldn't do, is I just wish it's just like in Grand Theft Auto 4, it's like in Red Dead Redemption you should be able to buy businesses. It's like it's so set up perfectly. Like that's the coolest thing from fucking Vice City and San Andreas. It's like, but it's like, okay, you're in the Old West, fucking whorehouses, fucking gambling, blacksmiths. You could throw all kinds of stuff in there. You could buy, fucking go buy and collect your money and shit.
With Redemption, you can do everything but that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, here's the thing. It's like, the story is great, and that's what you play it for, but I feel like it's missing, like, just like how Grand Theft Auto 4 was. If you played the story, it's all fine, but if you want to go dick around, it's like, well, there's not a ton to do.
Yeah.
And that's Red Dead Redemption. That was the same little problem I had with that. Which I felt that actually Gunn had more things to do outside the story than Red Dead Redemption.
I felt like, dude, because like I put a ton of time in, because like Red Dead Redemption, it's like there's so many like side missions, and there's so many.
Are you talking about like the missing or the mystery people or whatever ones?
Yeah, like the question mark ones, and then there's like.
But that's about it though. There's nothing else other than that.
Well, I mean, there's like the gathering missions, the hunting missions.
Oh yeah, I guess you have sort of those ones.
It's like there's like random people you run into and shit like that, just going around.
Oh, they have the mini things.
But like, I don't know, dude. I had a lot of fun like just dicking around in Red Dead Redemption. Just like. Lassoing people and tying them up, sticking them on train tracks.
I know, give the dastardly achievements.
Throwing them on the back of my horse, and it's like then they had like the bounties, and like running around.
Oh yeah, you got the bounties. I mean, like they did have stuff
and stuff like that.
I guess I just felt like there could be just a tad bit more. I really guess what I'm really complaining about is I wish you could just fucking buy businesses and go and collect your money. It sounds like such a small thing, but like
no, I agree. Like that's something I wish they kind of wouldn't have removed from Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
it's like.
Well, because the worst part, too, about it, I think, is once I saw it, like, in Assassin's Creed 2, and, 2-2, or whatever you want to call that next one, like, that game had it in there, where you could go by and fucking, like, collect your money from, like, your businesses, and I think it was in the Assassin's Creed, whatever, what's it called, Brotherhood, is that what the second one is?
Yeah.
That one is the one where you had your little, like, villa and whatnot, you could keep upgrading it and shit, and, like, I thought that was, like, so badass, and it's, like, it's really one of those things that doesn't really do you, like, a whole lot good, but I don't know what it is. I love, like, the idea of, like, going by, collecting your money and whatnot, and like I don't know. I just thought in Vice City and San Andreas that was such cool things. And
plus, dude, I mean, like Undead Nightmare was
Undead Nightmare is one of the
I've ever played.
That part's so cool.
But like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, overall, like
Redemption
sounds like I'm almost complaining about the game, but like it's
no, it's I know. You just wish they would have had the one feature, and it would have made it better. I agree, but I mean, it's cool that they have everything but that basically.
Yeah, and they do have quite a bit. And as I said, it's like, if you stick to the main story...
I hope they add that to the
Yeah, hopefully they will put that in there and whatnot, and other small things like that.
Undead Nightmare, dude, was
Undead
awesome.
Nightmare was so
I love
awesome.
how, like, in the very beginning of Undead Nightmare, it's like John Marston is just so, like, adamant that, like, he can just tie his wife up and uncle and, like, cure him at some point, and the son and stuff like that. But, dude, just the beginning of that game is just, like, insane. It just throws you
it's
like
you're watching a movie, yeah. That one was one of the best expansions, and I actually thought, that's one of the best, like, zombie-style games I've ever played, too. Like, it really gave me a real good feeling of just being kind of, like, out in the woods, and, it's all quiet. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's a couple zombies coming at you. Like, I just thought that was so cool, and they could, like, rip you down from the horse and everything.
That's,
So, like, one of the cool things about...
like, running around having to save people from the zombies just randomly.
Yeah, I love that. There's just so many little things. It's sort of like one thing I did like, or not one thing, but something I thought was really cool, still horror-like, but is in the regular one, is just when you're out in the middle of the woods, like, especially in tall trees. I think that's like the coolest area, and the music, they just got that like very subtle music, but so creepy. And you're just out there, and it's snowing and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, there's a fucking bear, and it rips you down on the horse. You're like, oh, fuck! And then it's, Undead Nightmare, and then they got fucking zombie bears.
Dude, because, like, yeah, dude, because, like, you'll be like, dude, I'll be in the woods doing Redemption, dude, and I'll just be, like, standing there in the snow and shit, and then, like, I hear something, dude, I'm like, where's the fucking bear? Where's the fucking bear? Next thing you know, I turn around, dude, it's in my fucking face, I'm dead.
I know. Like, that was, like, I really think that's some of the coolest stuff is the fucking animals.
But, yeah, dude, and then, like, I like how in Undead Nightmare, it's, like, not only did they go the zombie route, but they went, like, the complete, like, supernatural route, almost, with, like, the Bigfoot and, like, all that
Oh,
shit
yeah, they had all the...
on.
That Bigfoot one, that's one of the saddest fucking stories I think I've ever seen in a game, where you go and you're finally tracking down that because the guy's like, oh, the Bigfoot monster's like eating babies and killing livestock and whatnot. So you're like, oh, okay, and you go out there and you're like hunting the Bigfoot. I remember because you can get that gun that just like, I thought it was really funny. It was kind of like funny almost because you get that gun. I can't remember what it was. It was the thing that when you shoot one bullet, it just explodes whatever you hit. So you're just going out there annihilating them all, and then you finally get to the very end. There's just like this Bigfoot sitting there going like. He's just crying, sitting on, like, the fucking, like, riverbed. He's just like, they killed all my family. I'm the only one left. There's nobody out there.
Just kill me.
Just kill me. Just get it over with, and you're just sitting there. And you can make the choice, like, you're like, do I kill him or do I just leave him and whatnot?
Yeah.
If you leave him, then he's, like, the mysterious Bigfoot that everybody always talks about. Or you just be a total dick and kill him after they're like, he's just like, I got nothing left.
You know what the thing is, dude, is like, I was having a hard time with that choice,
You're like, I could put him out of his misery.
And then it was like, then they were just like, I was like, okay, I'll let him go. So I let him walk away, and he, like, walks away from you in the game. I was like, I changed my mind. And I shot him as he was walking away. But, dude, it's like, fuck, I killed your family, man. You got nothing left. Fuck it.
Yeah,
fuck it. I might as well finish the job.
I don't know what you're going to go back to, so I guess I'll take you out. Cameron, you said you played that last Tomb Raider game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a really good game, but my only complaint to that game is, like, where the fuck's all the animals in it? Like, the only thing you kill is, like, wolves.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, the fucking first Tomb Raider game, I mean, you're not only killing wolves, you're killing bats, there's bears, there's a T-Rex in that game.
Yep.
A T-Rex! Come on, where the hell's that T-Rex in that game? That was my only complaint. I was like, I liked the game a lot. I thought it was a really good game, but it's like, that's... Tomb Raider, it's like you're not fighting people like the whole time. You're fighting like half your enemies are mostly animals and stuff. Yeah. And I just think that's kind of cool because you don't get that in very many games where you're like fighting off like animals and whatnot.
Apparently this new one, man, that's what it's all about.
Are they putting animals into it?
Fucking A.
That's good. They better because I was like really. Overall, I thought that Tomb Raider game was really good. I'd only mark it down because it doesn't have animals in it. And that sounds like a weird thing, but that's to me what Tomb Raider is.
You know what the other thing with the Redemption, sorry, but the other thing with Redemption, dude, is the, like, it's like some of those, like, mystery question mark missions, dude. It took a long time to complete some of those missions, like, where you have to go collect some of the wild
flowers.
Or, like, dude, it's like the one guy where he wants to, like, fly, so it's like you need to go collect all, like, the beaver pelts, and it's hard to find beavers, dude.
And then the guy goes off and just fucking ruins it by crashing. You're like, I put so much work in
like
that.
3 feet out, dude, from the cliff, and he just goes straight down. You're just like, God damn it, at least I get the percentage.
The one thing I like about all those ones, I like how every single one of them is kind of like dark and creepy. I like that aspect of it. Like,
yeah.
I just think so. You that one where you're collecting the flowers and the guy's like, oh, his fucking wife's just been sitting there dead for God knows how long.
Dude, I know.
Or the cannibal one and whatnot.
Yeah, the one where it's like people are going missing, you just keep going and finding like blood and shit. And you're like, what the fuck is going on, dude? And then some guy comes running down, he's like, holy fuck, some guy's trying to kill me.
I like how you can make the choices with those ones. Do I kill the guy and let the cannibal guy go? Or do I kill the cannibal?
Dude, I definitely killed the cannibal, but
I did too, but
it was insane. But it's like, even with like, dude, Undead Nightmare, it's like you find the guy, dude, and he's like dancing with like all the zombies and shit. You're just like, I'm walking away.
that character Seth.
That's the one, yeah.
That guy?
He's the guy who's dancing with all the zombies. He's insane, dude. I know you find him, he's like digging out dead bodies. You're just like...
Is that what you do?
So making friends with him and shit. Yeah, that guy's super fucking creepy.
So yeah, overall, I'm totally looking forward to that next one, though.
Yeah.
And then that Tomb Raider game, is that game still exclusive for Xbox One?
No. That was like
that didn't last very long then.
No. That was like it's like a timed exclusive type thing. Like
Lazy
you'll
cut.
get it like a week before on Xbox One or whatever.
No big deal. I'll probably be a cheap bastard and not get it till like it's cheaper or whatnot. But
Yeah.
as I said, I was really impressed with that Tomb Raider one too because.
This, yeah.
But as I said, the only downfall is like I was like, what the fuck's the animals in it like? And because my first experience playing Tomb Raider, and I actually just started. I played a little bit of Tomb Raider again, the original one, the '96 one, or '95, whatever it is. And it's like it's like the first couple levels you don't fight a single person, you're fighting only animals. And I just remember because like my memories of playing that is I remember being at like friend Thomas Jaquetta's house like birthday in like 1996, and he had a PlayStation before everybody else, and we were fucking playing Twisted Metal 1. And Tomb Raider and whatnot, and that was the thing is I remember you just going by, and then all of a sudden there's a bear and stuff, and I was just like, oh, what the fuck? I've never seen this before, not in 3D,
right?
Yeah, and that one, like the only thing I remember, you battled wolves, and I want to say you battled one other animal slightly.
I was playing Far Cry 3 the other day, and I got attacked by an animal. I think while I was playing last time we were over.
That happens.
And I just died.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? And I ended up killing him. But and then I set something free, I think.
Yeah.
At some point when I was playing on your file. And
Did I tell you? I think I told you about that fucking crazy chain reaction of animals. I think I told you guys at practice where I was hunting a pig, and then there was like this like fox, like wolf or dog type fucking thing that like chased down the pig. They got chased down by a fucking tiger, and then the tiger was like chasing this dog into the water, killed the dog in the water, and then a fucking shark comes up and then eats the fucking tiger that's sitting out there. It's just I've never seen anything like that before in a video game. Where it's just so many things happen like within seconds. It's just like what the fuck. But Far Cry 3, dude, that's another game I'm so excited for, and that comes out in a couple weeks. Is Far Cry 4.
The thing is, I haven't played Far Cry since Far Cry 1.
Dude,
that was the last time I played Far Cry.
3 is really good.
And what me and RJ used to do is back was like in high school. Me, RJ, and our friend Pat would have pretty much these video game tournaments right before school. So we'd wake up extra early just to go over to Pat's house and play some Far Cry multiplayer.
Come to my house when my parents went to work.
Oh yeah, and we just play that before we went to school and whatnot. And it was awesome, excluding the fact that game was like god awful long, like load time to start it up.
That was like first game, dude. That Predator shit, dude.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was a really sweet
That was
game.
the first game I remember in the multiplayer mode. You could go and like manipulate the maps and everything, and you could like build the different terrains and all that. Like the map editor on there was so fucking awesome.
It was like the tail end of kind of like the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 era. I noticed there was other games because like Time Splitters 3 has that too, where you could go build your own maps and whatnot, and a couple other ones had that. So that's a great feature. I don't know why they don't have that. Like I haven't seen that in a game since that generation, because it's like nowadays with all the online and whatnot, it's like, dude, you could have endless maps to play.
Yep. Well, that's kind of what Halo did with Forge mode. Like you can build your own maps to an extent. It's still like confined to like the map space, but you can put like different structures.
Well, yeah, you got to have some form of a limit on it, but it's kind of like in Smash Brothers. Which one is the one you could build maps on? Is it the Wii U one, or the Wii one actually? Like that was another one that was kind of cool. You could build sort of your own maps too. Really? You build a couple of them and you kind of go, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I'll just play the ones that are already there. But still, the idea of having it there, I think, is always a neat feature.
Yeah, I really liked, like I was just talking about in Far Cry, having the ability to manipulate the terrain. Because I would build these like sniping maps where you just have these giant mountainscapes, and I just like make some super tall, some like a little bit, up, and put like different sniper posts and stuff. We play like 16 player of that, just like hook all of our Xboxes together and do a network hub, and just like play 16 player. So much fun, but a lot of work too. You got to get that shit just right, make sure everything's balanced, and But you can build pretty much anything you want. You can make like a mountain like fucking like a mile high and just put a platform at the top, and just like set your battle arena right there. Fall off, you're dead. It's pretty cool.
No, I'm just surprised that they have not put that in any of these kind of games. Probably because they're afraid that things would be unbalanced. Yeah. That's probably what they're always saying is the balance. Which there was a time period where that wasn't really like a problem. But I don't know. I'd like to see that again.
Neither of you guys watched The Walking Dead?
I don't.
Not as of recent. I think the last one I saw was like the end of season 3. A little bit of season 4, maybe the first couple episodes, but
I don't know, I just almost got to the end of season 4. I'm almost at the end now. It's insane.
Is
I
it?
need to watch it. It's insane. Can't wait to watch season 5.
I just need to download it. This fucking game spends this Outlast.
Dude. God hates money.
Dude, we put some fucking, we got some great screenshots playing through.
Dude, that reminds me of Resident Evil right there, like when you can use the camera.
Screenshots we took.
Yeah. We took a whole bunch, just like hoping that we can use some of it for, like I can throw it in the Photoshop and just like mess with it.
That was all behind the camera.
Yeah, we ended up like taking the camera off. You know,
some of these screenshots are fucking sick, dude. They're scary as hell, dude.
Isn't that game coming out for PS4 and Xbox One?
Whistleblower. I think that
the
it's
next
like a
iteration
prequel or something.
That's the next one we gotta play, and then Outlast 2 is in development right now too. But yeah, it's creepy as shit. Like what you're seeing right here is pretty much like towards the end of the game, but I don't know. It's just like one of those games where your heart is constantly racing.
Well, dude, I mean, it's just you can't fight.
Yep.
You can't defend yourself. That's the scariest part. Is like it's all like, oh fuck, run.
Yep.
Well, it seems like that's kind of like a new trend in video games, is games where you don't fight anymore.
It's awesome.
You know, because there's this game. You could say Alien Isolation. Another game that they did that with beforehand was that Silent Hill Memories, I think is what it was called. It was the remake of the first one.
Right.
Evil Within Miami
came out with like a Wii and PS2 and I think even PSP.
Which one?
I think it's called Silent Hill Memories. It was a remake of the first one.
Yeah.
I actually downloaded that, or a copy of that for PSP or something.
Like I said, the Evil Within, dude.
I downloaded it.
I'm starting to get to the point where it's like it's starting to be better for me to sneak past rather than fight.
Then fight him.
It's just I'm fighting tougher enemies, dude. There's like invisible enemies in the Evil Within.
Huh.
Kind of like the Invisible Hunters. Cameron saw him actually, dude. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like blasting my shotgun in all directions, trying to, cause like, dude, they're like all the objects in the Evil Within, like in all the rooms, move hella easily. Like the second you touch them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're fighting the invisible enemies, you're standing back watching for like gurneys in the room to like move or something like that, or watching for footsteps in the water.
Huh.
But it's crazy because then all of a sudden you'll get grabbed out of nowhere.
Just get you.
Yeah. And dude, enemies are hard to kill. It's like headshot. The crossbow's the easiest way to kill.
It'd be kind of cool if that game had, I'm not too sure if it has like a new game plus where you could kind of go in there. It's like what I always feel like, make the game like kind of like start off as sort of survival horror, but once you beat it, you know, and then like you could turn it into a little bit more of like where you know your ammo carries over and whatnot. Now you got more and whatnot. And
I think that might be how it is. I don't know, but they unlocked a new difficulty, dude. I mean, like you unlock a new difficulty. I know when you beat it, a harder difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might be how it is, though. I imagine that's how Resident Evil 4 was.
Yeah, that's how Dead Space was, because
mean,
Dead Space is really just Resident Evil and Metroid,
you know,
combined together.
It is a Shinji Mikami game, so.
Yeah, so hopefully it's got it. But because that sometimes it's just kind of fun to go in there. It's like one of my favorite things is Resident Evil 3. Going back to Resident Evil 3 again, is that game is really fun to play with, almost like when you just got a copious amount of ammo in it. 'Cause there's so much stuff to kill in it, so it's like just to run through. Like I love playing that game with like using my Game Shark and just going, okay, I just got unlimited ammo because you know. Then one, you don't have to worry about picking up ammo, so you can just carry all the key items and that's it, and just do like a speed run that way or whatnot, or just just blast through the game. Look, that guy's dead.
So much blood in Outlast towards the end, dude. It was fucking ridiculous. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Am I getting yanked out of a locker?
No, that's remember when you were running. And
that's right.
There's like this apparition thing that just like comes flying in, picks him up, and shoves him through this this ventilation system right here. Mm-hmm. So I was like hitting screenshots when RJ was playing, and then like he hits up there and just like fucking blood just like sprays out. I think I caught some of it.
Huh.
But yeah, that's that ghost fucking thing.
Interesting. I'll have to see that game at some point.
Oh, it's so good.
It's insane.
Huh.
No, it took a long time to play, but
it's really not that long of a game, though.
No, it really isn't. It's
7-8 hours.
No, that's about average. That's what I always feel that's about kind of average length of a game. You know, I always say the average game is about 10 hours, give or take. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, it was super enjoyable. Like a lot of fucking heart racing moments where I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, you just have to play it.
Get your heart going, I'll tell you that
Dude.
much. Made me jump.
That's a good game
I
there.
haven't jumped as much as I have since I played the remake the first time through.
No, I still think that's the scariest game I've ever played.
This
Fatal
game didn't
Frame
make
2,
me jump
dude.
as much as
That game
but
scared the living
Yeah,
shit out
me and
of me.
RG rented Fatal Frame way back in the day.
that was a good game the first
There's,
time.
there's a new Fatal Frame coming out for Wii U only, but they're kind of like iffy if it's going to come out to the US because they haven't released a Fatal Frame since number 2, I think. I don't think number 3 came out to the US. I think after that, because there's like a 3 and a 4, and I almost want to say there's like a 5th one too, and they all are in Japan only. Because survival horror is a dead genre till now.
Right.
You know that you know how you were telling me on Alien Isolation your uncle, is that who it was?
Hmm?
Had the thing hooked up to the PS3 to where if like the ambient noise around you.
Yeah, dude.
Does that work the same with the PlayStation 3? With the Move? If like I had the camera?
Probably. Does
I
that?
wonder, well, it picks up
has
sound. It's got a microphone.
It's got a mic on it. Probably then, yeah.
Dude, like,
It does what now?
That shit's frustrating, man. So when I'm playing Alien Isolation, there's like this feature on there. If you have the PlayStation Eye, it uses the microphone on there for like directional, like I don't know, like basically if you're playing the game and you're like trying to sneak around enemies and you like make any noise, they hear that and they like look at
So
you.
if the dog just starts barking in your house, you're fucked.
yeah, exactly. So
And
it's
here's
like,
what happened with me, dude. I have a 2-year-old cousin and a 4-year-old cousin running around in the house, and I'm like trying to sneak past this group of guys, and like every single noise they make, they just look. You know, you're just like, fuck, you can get killed.
dude,
So you go, you like, stupid fucking camera.
I couldn't imagine.
I know why you weren't included with the system.
I couldn't imagine sneaking, dude. Then I sneeze, all of a sudden the alien starts flying through. I'd be like, oh fuck.
I think it's kind of it's a cool feature, like if you're by yourself, as long as you don't have like a dog barking or a child yelling or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, or if you're playing with a friend or something, but
Just because like it is kind of cool, just like you gotta be quiet, you know, like that is kind of different. Oh, damn it, you invite me over and I can't even talk now.
Yeah,
it's like it's gonna hear us.
He's coming for us.
there's
You just get all creepy and weird because you're stuck in this room all day long where you can't talk or make a noise.
Yeah, I really want to play that game, dude.
Mostly.
Since I bought Advanced Warfare, and I already have the Evil Within.
He's just got to beat a
I'm gonna
couple of
try to
those
get it.
before you.
No, I'm getting Isolation regardless of whether or not I beat either of those. But I just want to have it,
I'd
just so I
give it-
can play it.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's like it's way better than Colonial Marines, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it's just because I didn't put enough time into it. But
Well, yeah, I mean, like, do you think if you played it more, your rating might go higher?
probably.
Just from what you played so far.
It had a lot of frustrating find X key or whatever
Well, see,
to
they
like
say
open
the,
next area.
The thing that makes it scary is the atmosphere of the game, which you said they
Yeah.
pretty much nailed.
Yeah, very well.
Like, and, you know, it's just the alien, which you hadn't even been able to see yet.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I just heard is just the length, and I was just like, when I hear 25 hours, I'm like, 25 hours? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's not an RPG.
Don't move.
What I got flying around me.
I'm protecting you.
Just grabs me and takes me out. Ah! Ah!
The bug was attempting an aerial assault.
Had to circle around a couple times.
It's alright. We had good ground defense.
But no, it's like, I'd love to play that Alien game, though. It looks cool. But that 25-hour thing, it's just like, I think about that, I'm like, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you played like a regular game that was 25 hours?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was not like an RPG or partial RPG or something like that.
Yeah.
Because even the partial RPG games, you know, something like a Mass Effect, those games are only like 10, 11 hours, you know, 12 hours maybe first time through.
You like the alien movies, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing
How
but the
close,
best.
how close did it feel to the movies? Did it feel like you were kind of playing a movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
If it nailed that, then I want to play it.
Yep.
It's definitely worth my money.
The
I'm glad someone else has played it, because I really don't want to spend $60 on another alien game.
yeah,
And be shamed.
Yeah.
it's pretty good, man.
We gotta try it at some point. You gotta play the Alien game that came out for DS. The Alien, what the fuck was it called? I can't remember, but it was,
Didn't we look at it?
yeah, we
last
looked
time
at
went to
it.
GameStop?
Like it was like Alien Inception or something like that. I can't remember, but
Inception.
something.
Everyone's sleeping.
I really want to get Luigi's Mansion
Looks pretty
2,
badass.
man.
Oh yeah, There's not a good game.
Sorry. I
RJ?
was just thinking about 3DS games I need to get now.
Before we move too far away from the alien thing, if you're gonna get a PS4, I would highly suggest waiting to get it on PS4. I don't think it's gonna be that fantastic on PS3.
I'm gonna get them on both, probably.
Okay.
See, because I'm at this kind of weird, like, loophole of, like, do I just wait to get some of these games, like, for PS4?
Yeah.
I just don't
that's
think
what
I'm gonna wait
doing
that
right
long
now.
because I'm not gonna get a PS4 for another 3 months. I can't wait that long.
I know, it's like, I don't know, I'm at that kind of limbo stage where it's like, I don't really have a ton of money to go out and get a PS4. So, maybe, but at the
See,
same
and
time,
that's-
it's like, it just seems like that's the way to go. Just get a PS4 and then get these games. Even if I have to wait a little bit longer, it's like by the time I get a PS4, those games will be cheaper, I guess. I could
Right.
go out and pick them up.
See, and that's where I was at with Shadow of Mordor, is I really, really wanted to play it so bad, and I heard about the PS3 version that's going to be coming out in the Xbox 360 having the reduced down Nemesis system, and I'm like, I can't play that game like that, like I need to have either the next gen or attempt to get it on PC. So I kind of like weighed out my options, because pretty much the only reason why I wanted a PS4 for this time frame, or this time of year, was for that game.
Mm-hmm.
So when I download it on PC and it actually like works and works well on my PC, it's just like, why would I even like go get a new console? It just doesn't make sense yet.
Yeah, so it's just
The
like, well, it's
moment
like,
that this PC stops running things like as well as it can, I don't know.
that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like one of those ones. It's like, that's why I think it's kind of weird that they keep releasing games on 360 and PS3. Because it's like, it's like, if you want to sell the system, just cut it off. They used to do it back in the day. They didn't just keep making games for like fucking like N64 and like PlayStation when like the PS2 came out and
I'm
GameCube.
sure this is going to be like
And
probably
same with-
into early next year. It'll probably be the last of it that you'll see.
I
Come
mean,
next
like,
holiday.
you think about, like, there's always a couple games, like, right at the very beginning, but, when 360, PS3, and, Wii came out, you didn't see them, constantly making games for PS2 and GameCube and Xbox still. I mean, like, they pretty much just cut it off, other than a couple games and sports titles. That was it.
Right.
So this is actually, it's kind of a new trend to do that. They keep releasing a lot of games, for over a year.
Well, I'm calling it right now. I think by 2016 holiday, 2015 holiday, that all that's going to stop. I'm sure you won't see very many, at least like at E3 or Gamescom next year, you probably won't see very many 360 and PS3 like releases.
Other than sports titles.
Yeah, other than sports.
I'll have a PS4 before then. Thank God.
I know. Should
It's
have one at
time.
least. But,
But now all I'm really waiting for is I want to see how Far Cry 4 runs on my PC, and if it runs like shit, then I will go get a PS4 sooner. But beyond that, really, it just
because if it runs fine, you're going to be like, well, I guess I don't need to get PS4
I-
yet.
Why go spend fucking $400?
Well, they asked, like I saw some really good deals for, like, a Xbox One, at least, and I'm assuming they must have good deals for PS4, but, like, they have a bunch of deals coming out for Xbox One where you pay, like, I think it's $350, and they give you the Xbox One and, like,
In-game.
one of the brand new games. I know there's, like, Assassin's Creed one, there's, like, I don't know if there's a Halo Master Chief. That'd be the one to get, but
Sunset Overdrive. There's a white Xbox.
oh
One,
yeah, there's a Sunset Overdrive one.
Dude, I want to play that game so fucking bad. That game looks so awesome.
See, I'll say this: I look at that game and I'm like, I bet you it's fun. Because don't get me wrong, I like Spyro. I know it's like, what's the only other game you can think of that these guys made? Well, a long time ago they made Spyro, and it was a really good game. But I will say, like, that Sunset Overdrive, I don't know. To me, when I look at it, it just looks like it's trying too hard. That's just me. It looks like the game's just trying to be, like, a game that's just fun. I guess that sounds weird. Like, it just looks like it's trying to be fun. But I don't know. It looks a little too over the top.
That's exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that's, like, what they're going for. But I don't know. It's just, like, it looks like it's all based off, like, the play mechanic.
Yeah.
I don't know. As I said, I bet you it's a damn good game. But I just look at it and I kind of go, yeah.
It's kind of like how...
It looks like it also, to me, this goes back as being a Sega fan, it just kind of looks like Jet Grind Radio.
Yep.
Sort of.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's going to have a lot more than that in it, but I look at it and I just kind of go, looks like I've been there, done that. Not to put down, somebody's, like, 3 years worth of work down, like... But still.
Looks like a lot of fun. I heard it's a lot like that game you just mentioned and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 mixed together. Like, that's the way it plays.
Well, Jet Grind Radio is like Tony Hawk, but with rollerblades and then spray painting.
Yeah.
So, as I said, like, that Sunset Overdrive is probably good, but I don't know, it doesn't jump out at me. I'll just say that. You know,
Yeah.
if somebody had it, I'd play it. I cannot imagine buying it, and I almost couldn't imagine buying it even if it was cheap. And I don't mean to put, once again, I don't want to sound like I'm putting somebody else's game down for all their work and stuff. Just say it just doesn't look like my type of game. But yeah, fucking slaps. You know, they should just not give up Spyro. I don't know why they just toss Spyro on the curb, just like how fucking Naughty Dog tossed Crash Bandicoot on the curb. Because I was just thinking about that. Like, just what if Naughty Dog made a PS4 fucking like Crash Bandicoot? It's like,
sure, amazing.
yeah, it's just like,
Sure,
it's,
crazy.
you know, I just thought that was like one of those ones. Like, why would you? But the concept of that is that Sega would have just tossed Sonic away after the Genesis and just said, "Fuck it, we don't need Sonic." You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, some people might go, "Well, maybe that was a good idea because you know those other Sonic games aren't nearly as good." I'm like, no. Sonic Adventure was good. Sonic Adventure 2 had its problems, and so does the rest of them. But they still got good elements in them.
Yeah.
But it'd be like if Nintendo just said, "We don't need fucking Mario after regular Nintendo. Fuck that guy."
I think they went for that realism route, you know, with Uncharted. And
Well, I think they
Last
didn't want to be. Well, at first you gotta say they did the Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
You know, so they made like a progress because they started with Crash Bandicoot, E-rated game, then Jack and Daxter because that was like a T, wasn't it? Or at least the last ones were. So it kind of progresses, and then they got Uncharted, which is more. It's still a teen game, but it's more of an adult game, and then you get the last ones to mature. So you see the progress, you know, but it just seems like one of those ones like
That game is so fucking good.
Crash Bandicoot. Just one of those ones you just like. That's just like throwing away a gold mine, and obviously Crash Bandicoot didn't really make it after that loss of like their own company. And same with Spyro too. It's just like, why would you throw that? As I said, it's the same thing as throwing Mario or Sonic away. And I'm sorry, like I'll tell you this, like I never cared to play a Spyro game or like a Crash Bandicoot game. Actually, I think I played a couple of them. And they weren't really bad, you know. But I just don't have that. I don't have the drive to go out and get one. Like if it was made by Naughty Dog, I'd say sure.
Yeah.
You know, or Insomnia, I'd say sure.
I miss Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped.
I have that one.
Warped was
So good.
awesome.
That's the best one.
I
I
have it
think.
on my PS3.
But
I got the regular PlayStation copy.
I never really got into Spyro too much.
Spyro, I played the first two a lot.
I played the first one a little bit. I played the second one a little bit, but that was it.
You know, and I liked them a lot.
You know, it's like a lot of people like the same thing with Rayman, dude. I never got into Rayman either. A lot of people hell liked Rayman. When it first came out.
Rayman is one of those games. It's like it plays fine. It's just it's a little too weird for me. Once again, it sounds like a weird concept, but like once again, going back from like this like real compared to realistic to like out there, it's like I don't know. It's like I know Rayman's kind of I don't know. It just felt a little bit too out there for me. I don't know. That's sounds weird. It's like, and once again, it's like I can go play Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario, and I know that Rayman's kind of in that same category, but
Right.
you know, it's like I don't know. It's just, and it's, as I said, it's like nothing wrong with the game. I like, you know, I have the first and second.
I just
Rayman
never
game,
got
but,
into it.
But yeah, I can never get into it like a Sonic or Mario type game. I don't know. E-rated games are kind of hard for me unless they're games that I already like played previously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like as I said, like I could always go out and get Mario and I'll love
It's
the
like,
hell out of it.
I don't know. I like
Last one
Little
I
Big
played.
Planet.
But like, huh?
Little Big Planet.
I hated that. I could not get into
I
that
enjoyed
game.
it a lot,
I could
actually.
not figure out like. I remember because, like our buddy Nate Bumgarner had that game. He was like, "Oh my god, you gotta show it to me." I couldn't understand it. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing in this game. And he was trying to explain. He's like, "Oh well, you know, you're gonna make whatever you want. You can make these levels. You can play like a Contra level. You can make a Mario." And I was just sitting there. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna play those things, I'm gonna go play Contra, or I'm gonna play Mario, or I'm gonna play it, and like, I don't know, I just could not figure out the Little Big Planet thing, and it was like, I thought the controls were horrible. It's just like, I mean, I understand like the creating thing. I know some people like that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like Minecraft.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm not like the creating thing. I feel like if I'm gonna create a game, I might as well go out and full on create a video game.
Right.
You know, other than that, it's like I just kind of want to play one. I don't know. I couldn't figure that one out, and people seem to love the hell out of it.
Have you ever played Starbound?
That sounds so familiar.
It's like a 2D Minecraft, essentially.
No, I've never played. I've never even played Minecraft.
I don't know.
Really?
Never
Minecraft's
have.
fun.
It was never one of those games like it doesn't.
What's that other one?
I mean, it's probably once again probably fun, just doesn't really appeal to me.
What's that other one, Cameron? That's kind of like Minecraft. Terraria.
Yeah. This game plays a lot like
I was
Terraria,
gonna
but
say
it's
this game kind of looks like it might be like Terraria.
It's way better. You have like infinite fucking galaxies and planets and fucking places you can go. Like it's
Minecraft was cool though.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand. It's like, it took a long time. Like, when I played it with camera, it took us a long time to build what we built.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it wasn't even, like, necessarily good. We just spent a lot of time, like, digging and building and going deeper into the ground. But, dude, it was like, some people, like,
Well, I just
build whole cities, and you're just like...
I just don't get that. Like, to me, it just
Holy
seems like
shit.
when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, don't you have something?
Like, ministerial.
Can't you serve the world a little bit better than that? Like making all that kind of stuff. Like, what does that? I just don't understand. Like, what does that like achieve?
I don't know
Like,
if they just do they get hella good at it and then they can just do it hella quick, or is it just something that they
you
just put time into?
You learn all the different routes and stuff. I mean, like, people like dig down to like certain levels because like when you pull up your map, you have like your X and Y axes, so it tells you where you're at. You know, and they'll like dig down to a certain level where they have like the highest probability of like mining diamonds or mining coal or mining whatever, you know, like whatever mineral, and then they just like power run through that shit, and they just like dig these fucking long ass, just mile long tunnels, you know.
so it's like, well,
Get all their material, bring it back, and then they like craft all their shit, and then next thing you know is you got these like gigantic structures
Like
that
I
are
said,
like
dude, they
impenetrable.
recreated Ministerial from Lord of the Rings and shit like
I
that.
I just like it's like what?
Oh, that? Oh, I'm sorry. That is creative mode, like where you have like unlimited resources. You can fly around and like build whatever the fuck you want.
Regardless, though.
I just
Yeah,
don't get it. It's
that
like
takes a while.
I just
I
it's
don't know,
like
dude,
what is the
like, those
purpose of
things are
doing that
like-
other than just saying like I spent a whole lot of time doing this?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just and I think that's to me like a video game. I feel like it has to have a purpose and it has to have a destination.
Yeah.
And there has to be something that like I achieve from it. And if I don't have those things, and that's kind of how I felt like Little Big Planet was. Like I didn't feel like I was playing a game. I felt like I was just playing. It almost felt like I was playing sort of like a demo.
Dude, straight up Little Big Planet is just like Mario, not Nintendo. You know, it's like...
But to me, it's like it played like a. Like, I don't know. It didn't even play like smooth like Mario does, or like. It just I don't know.
I didn't say they did it right.
Yeah, it was like that was my
it's
only
kind of
thing.
like Mario for PS3.
Yeah, I guess you could probably say that, but it's like, does it have a
You know,
story
it's like-
mode in it, or does it like?
PlayStation All-Stars, not really.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I didn't get what was going on, you know. And
It's
I'm,
like PlayStation All-Stars, dude. You know, it's Super
Smash
Smash
Bros.
Bros. PS3.
but I don't know. It's one of those ones like when I like I kind of like games when they're just kind of like linear. Like I want to know that there's an end to the game, you know. I want to know that I can achieve something. When I'm just sitting there. When I'm just sitting there doing like God knows what, just trying to like achieve, I don't know, some personal highlight. Then it just feels like I'm doing something wrong.
Here it is. See, this is what I like to do in Minecraft is do like pixel art. Like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I mean, like when you're like down on the ground and you're standing next to these things, they're so fucking high. You know, they're just like super tall.
Huh.
But yeah, stuff like that's.
See, because I even look at stuff like that pixel art thing, and it's just kind of like, well, why don't you just draw pixel art in like a drawing program?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I just can't figure it out. Like maybe it's just something that's not made for me. It's like a different kind of like generational thing or something. I don't know what, but I'm trying to think of a game that came out like in the 90s that would be equivalent to that, like these kind of games where you just kind of played a just kind of almost like a sandbox where you're just messing around in.
Yeah.
And I can't pull one out of my brain from back in the day.
Basically, all this game is just the way I look at it is like Legos for big kids, essentially in a 3D space.
So, it's like Legos, I guess, in a computer world is what you would say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then once again, I guess I'm like, man, if I was gonna build Legos, I'm gonna go out and buy myself a set of Legos, and the Legos are expensive though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those. I'm just like, I just don't think I get it. I think it's something. There's something there that I just like can't process. That's like it's just not for me. It's like I don't know. As I said, I think it's like because I like I like that linearness of a game. You know, where I know I got an ending at some point.
Fucking hell, there's more pictures on here too.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean Minecraft. There's no point to it. You know, it's just it's just dig and make stuff and make better stuff, and it's just
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't get it. It's like I thought it was gonna be boring, but dude, it was fun. Like digging and trying to get putting torches up and making staircases.
Like, oh shit. Nighttime's coming, like, we need to build a fort, like, let's
we
just
need
dig
to
up a
build
bunch
a
of
wall.
dirt blocks.
See, that concept sounds kind of cool. I like the concept that, like, you have to, once night comes, you have to defend or whatnot. That sounds cool, but Maybe if it was just like tied into some kind of story, something or not, something to like put together.
There kind of is, like, the whole point of it is to gain enough material to find these like secret, like, I don't know, you can call them castles or whatever. Sometimes they're deep underground, sometimes they're way up on top of mountaintops, wherever. And you do that by getting the Ender Eye, and like there's Endermen around that spawn at nighttime or whatever. And if you like look at them too long, they'll like come over and start attacking you and kill you. So basically, you just have to kill one of those things, and they drop the eyeball, throw the eyeball up in the sky, and it just like flies, across the map, and you follow it, and then that takes you down to this like, the castle thing. From there, you take 8 of those things, or 16, or however many, and then you like open up this portal to where you go to the Underworld, and you land in the Underworld, and you fight the Ender Dragon, and then like after you kill the Ender Dragon, it's basically like the end game, So there's not really like
there
a
is
story,
something,
but,
not
you
like
can go towards something. In that
yeah,
game.
If you wanted to.
Yeah. Or you can just create a community. The most interesting thing about Minecraft, especially on PC, is like the rented servers. Somebody will rent a server, and like have like, hundreds of players, that just like go through there and just like change the whole landscape and everything, and then they'll like, not or stop paying for that server or whatever, and then it just kind of stays stale. So the next person that goes in and rents that server, they get that same exact like landscape and stuff, and people talk about like going to these old servers that have already been, mined and like all that, and like just going and exploring all their shit, and people take like screenshots and post it up on Reddit like all the time. Just like it's like they talk about it like going it's like going back in time almost, like back and like seeing like old ancient ruins of like where people were like mining and stuff, and just all the crazy shit they built, and just awesome stuff like that.
It's like one of those ones, like it's like I see that there's something to it. I don't know. I always just have a hard time putting my like. There's only so much time in the day, and if I'm putting it towards something that I feel like I'm not gonna achieve anything out of. Like if I was gonna sit around mining, I almost feel like maybe I should just go outside and start mining at my own house. There's a high chance that I could find gold and shit out there.
A little less work on Minecraft.
Oh yeah, did you see this, Spence?
No, I didn't.
That was me just like hella bored at work on Friday, and I'm just like, I haven't made a fucking Photoshop picture in forever, and I'm just like epic high five, and I just took a screen cap or like a picture of RJ off his Facebook and one of me cut out our heads and just like slapping one. Had a little explosion.
I haven't used Photoshop like that in a long time.
I love it, dude. I love that Photoshop. Like I never try to make any of my shit like super serious, just like use it to make cool stuff like that.
Shitty Photoshop's always the funniest.
Dude, it makes me laugh every time. Did you see the one I made for Pammy?
No.
Well, if you make it too good, then it takes away like the comedy element.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I love that picture. That James Hetfield, James Het Mountain, James Het Beach. Yes.
Dude, it's so
funny. Describe that since we're on air.
Okay, so like I made that picture of me and me and RJ. Like slapping hands. I'm like
slapping hands.
Slap hands.
Slap hands.
So anyway, so Pammy hits me up and she's just like, make a picture of me and Adam and Jeremy. So like I put this background. It's just like some space lake type thing, and you can see this mountainscape. You got all the floating galaxies and stuff. And then I put the Dragon Ball Z characters in, and I put Pammy's face on one and her boyfriend's face on the other. And then she wanted me to add Jeremy in there, and I couldn't think of anything, so like I just put a fucking flying squirrel in there and just pasted his head on top of it. And then I was just like, oh, she probably wants her daughter too, so I like made this little giraffe and like slapped that in there and then put her daughter's face on it. And, like these two are like charging up a Kamehameha wave. It's like
Jeremy's face is
it's
so serious on that flying squirrel.
And then the best part is that he took that.
It's like
and
a flying squirrel on a mission, dude.
He cut that out?
He cropped it and made it his fucking profile picture. It's just another, I whipped that up in like 10 minutes. It's just like, just made it hella fucking goofy.
Well, I remember that was like when like first discovering Photoshop, that was the whole thing. We had like a class and whatnot in Somerville High School. And we would just literally just fucking like, we would take the teacher pretty much and put him in horrible situations.
Yeah, and then she made that her profile picture.
haven't seen all that.
No.
They made that shit.
Yeah, it's fucking fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I like to do in Photoshop, man.
There we go.
I mean, outside of like, you know, like our band logo and all that, you know, and I'm just fucking bored and just want to do something funny real quick, you know. Fuck, like, you can go online and like go make a meme or just like spend 5-10 minutes in Photoshop and just make something fucking hilarious. Something super original and stuff that nobody's seen. Which actually, our fucking logo, dude.
I know, that came up pretty nice.
More and more I look at it, like I feel like I can make more perfections to it, but I don't want to touch it because it goes back to that thing you were talking about in the car where you're
the
like,
90% rule.
90%, dude. Like
that's pretty much. I have this rule. I've always kind of said I use it. I started kind of with animation, but I use it for everything I do: video, animation, music, anything. You go to 90%. Once it's 90% complete, you go to the next thing. You just stop there, because you'll spend. You know, that next 10%, you will spend more time on that probably than it took you to get to the 90%.
Yep.
You know, the fine-tuning thing just doesn't work. And the problem is here's a perfect example of trying to be a 100%er. You become like Axl Rose, and you take 10 years to release an album, and then by the time you release it, you just kind of go, well, probably should have just released that in 1996 like you were supposed to. You know, nobody's going to care. It's like, you know, that last 10% doesn't make a difference, you know. It's only going to matter to you. You're the only one that's going to notice that last 10%. That's where I like that. So you can see this Neuro Butcher logo if you go to Neuro Butcher. Is it Facebook /Neuro Butcher?
It's facebook.com/Neuro Butcher.
Or /. There you go.
And that's like our main page. And then, you know, we have our profile pictures. And
I can't remember. Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, hopefully we have that where it's like you don't have to put like a fucking 1 in there or something stupid like that.
Yeah, no. Yep.
But, yeah, there's the logo. You can check it out.
It's a lot of fun to make, man. Even just like the standard, the ones I did before I started arcing it and curving it and stuff, they looked really fucking cool.
But yeah, you just get to a point, you just go like, okay, I've tweaked it enough. Is it good? You just ask yourself, is it good enough? Is it 90%? And then you go, that's it. You know, because you can always go in there and dick around for that, but you'll just spend so much time doing it. Might as well take that 10% of effort and put it towards the next drawing or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, that's probably a good place to leave off at. Check out Neuro Butcher, the new band that's Premarital Death incarnated.
Hitting it hard, man.
I don't think I've explained on the podcast. I kind of just like waited for like you guys to come on.
Yeah. We're working on a lot of really cool stuff. I'm really excited for a lot of the new music that we've been producing. It's going to be a lot heavier.
Sounds like it's going to be some slamming deathcore.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
But till then, check out oldmanorange.com. That will lead you to pretty much everything. And I'll have to put a link to that one down. Unlink the Premarital Death stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just re-link it to a Neuro
Butcher.
Butcher
I'm
one.
closing out the page soon, too. So.
But go on there and then send us an email also at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com, and we'll read it on the air. Until then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm RJ.
And Cameron.
We will see you some other time. Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange Podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorange.podcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. If you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. It won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks again, and tune in next week for more Old Man Orange Podcast.